Athletes are also fighters. You're always under competition, so you always want to have the mindset that you can dominate, that you can always be the best. So you're always going to be challenging yourself. What's going on? New video, late night video. So been looking in the comment section. Some guys, I don't understand that my audience, it's a good majority of you guys that are in your 20s. And I understand that some of you guys, you want to play sports and you see semen retention and you ask yourself, like, is it going to help me become a better soccer player, basketball player, football player? And just how does it relate to playing sports? Because I understand we talk a lot about masculinity and just having that aggressive energy. In my opinion, I'm going to give you 4 reasons why I think semen retention is good for playing sports. And number 1, I'm going to say that I think sports and semen retention, they automatically just complement each other. The physical demand of sports is just overall good for semen retention. When you're playing sports, you're always physically active. There's always physical demand on a regular basis. When I ran track and played football, every day it was, I get 200 meter sprints. Like my track coach would give me like a yellow sheet of paper every day. You got 3 miles a day. It was always something where you was exhausting yourself. Football, you had your 2-a-days. You get up at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. You go out, you do your sprints, or you do your conditioning, and then you come back at like 4 o'clock, and you guys may be tackling or running plays. So you was always exhausting that energy. And when you're on the semen retention and you're playing sports, you always have that beast. You got that beast inside of you. Even if you're not playing sports, you have this beast inside of you. You have that life force inside of you, and it's always pushing. It's always urging you to do something. And when you play sports, that side of you is always going to be satisfied. A lot of times when you come home from practice, especially myself, I wasn't thinking about jerking off or having sex or, just masturbating or something like that. I just wanted to relax and watch TV and lay down. That's the only thing I would think about, because that aggressiveness, that masculine energy that physical energy that wants to come outside of you, it's being fed. The hardest thing when you're on semen retention is that when you're not playing sports, you have to find ways to be physically active. For some guys, maybe you had a lifetime where you wasn't doing much. Maybe you was just sitting up in your room masturbating and, and things like that. And you just want to turn your life around. So you got on a semen retention. Maybe you ran across one of these videos and you start retaining, and then you find yourself being more aggressive and assertive, and then you have to find ways to release the energy. And that's the good thing about sports. It's always being fed. You're always active. And going to practices, it was one of the best times. I couldn't stand it, but it was good for me. You have all this frustration, this energy within you, and that sometimes can't be contained. And the good thing about playing sports is that it's always being demanded out of you. Maybe you're tackling someone, or maybe you just want to do some full speed sprints, and it just makes you feel good. Just the overall competition of sports, that overall masculine energy. Number 2, I'm going to say that sports and semen retention is going to put you in a more alpha masculine mind frame, because when you're playing sports, being assertive, being aggressive, going after for what you want is good for playing sports. You have to understand that athletes are also fighters. You're always under competition, so you always want to have the mindset that you can dominate, that you can always be the best. So you're always going to be challenging yourself. You don't want to have that a complacent mind. You don't want to have that passive aggressiveness within you. And one thing about semen retention, like, it's going to push you to get rid of that passive aggressiveness, to get rid of that complacency. That's why we wake up earlier, and we get more physically active when we start to get on the semen retention. So any of those weaknesses within you, semen retention is going to help you push out of that quality that you have, or it's not a quality, that habit that you have of maybe beating around the bush. It's going to help you step up to the challenge, because their energy is always pushing you to be more assertive. It's always coming out of you. So you won't accept being pushed around. You won't accept holding back, for something that you want to go after. So that's a good thing about being on semen retention. That's going to help complement you when you're playing sports. Number 3, I'm going to say that when you're on the semen retention, you have to learn to control the energy. You have to learn to strategize. You can't just be impulsive. Everybody, like on the football field, everybody's strong, everybody's aggressive, but you have to get rid of the impulsiveness, because being impulsive can make you make bad decisions. When you're controlling yourself, controlling those urges from not masturbating and things like that, it's going to help you to not make compulsive decisions. When a chick walks past you or throws you some choosing signals and it's not a good time for you to be messing with chicks, you can just jump out there and find yourself making bad decisions. Same thing when you're playing sports. Just because you feel aggressive and just because you want to go into the moment and maybe punch somebody or be aggressive and tackle somebody, you have to pull back and you have to be more diplomatic with how you use your energy. And semen retention will teach you how to have better timing. A lot of times when you're on the semen retention, the energy within you is so powerful that you have to just get back and you have to focus. I find myself meditating a lot. I find myself getting real quiet a lot. I found myself just really just falling back and just paying attention to my surroundings. When you're on the field in the midst of the moment, you have to pay attention to your surroundings. You have to strategize. You have to outmaneuver your opponent. You have to be a mastermind as well. Semen retention can actually be very intimidating as well. Like a lot of times when you're on the semen retention, you may find out that people are uncomfortable around you because you're just trying to cultivate this energy and you're just giving off a strong vibe. Really just put you into the zone more when you're playing sports and you want to make a good decision. When it's a clutch moment, you want to put yourself in the zone. You want to pay attention to your surroundings so that you make the best decisions so that you can strategize. So I was looking at the heavyweight champion boxer David Haye, and he was talking about how he doesn't climax for 6 weeks, before he goes into a fight. And he was talking about how when you don't climax, when you're climaxing and not paying attention and just releasing your semen and whatever, you are weakening your legs and your knees. So you won't have the strength to be ready for the moment. When it's time, you'll already be exhausted if you're just sporadically just giving your seed away. It's making you weak and sucking up all your energy and making you real exhausted before you even do anything. So more like a slingshot, you want to pull back on that energy. We all understand and we know about the physical strength part. Like I done said it before, like every time I do the semen retention and I add it with my weight program, like I'm adding weight every week. My bench is going up, my squats is going up. So, and we understand that when you're playing sports, of course you got to be strong. If you're not strong on the sports field, you can break your bones, you can get hit, you can get ran over, you risk injury, you risk just being pushed around. So you benefit more by being strong as possible because it's going to give your body overall better stability. It's also going to put you in the mind frame to want to come to practice. It's going to put you in the mind frame to want to come to the gym. And just that overall boost and that desire to train and get better, you will find yourself getting strong. Another thing about being strong and playing sports is that speed, agility, acceleration. When you have speed, agility, acceleration, you can be successful. You can be successful in football, track, basketball, soccer, whatever that you choose. And you have to remember that speed is also strength. Speed is the rate of production that you move an object, that you move your body as quick as you can. So in order to get fast, you add resistance and you push against that resistance as powerful and explosive as you can. So when you're on the semen retention and you're retaining, it makes you more aggressive, and you can push against that resistance, and it's gonna make you faster. It's gonna make you more quicker, so that you are better at sports. So that's my thing on semen retention. Now, is semen retention gonna make you play like Michael Jordan, LeBron, Steph Curry, Kobe? No. It's gonna give you a boost to be better at your sport. It's gonna put you in the right position. It's gonna get you out of bed in the morning to hit life with a purpose, to chase your goals in sports, and just be a better athlete. Now, in order to be a better athlete, you want to put yourself in the right sport. Like if you're 5'5" and you're trying to be a basketball player, I'm not saying that you can't. You just have to understand that most men are like under 6 feet tall. So it's a crowd of guys that's like 5 foot tall. And they have, like, when you're short, you usually have a lot of skills. Like some of the best dribblers in basketball are usually short. And you have to battle against all that. And that may not be the avenue for you. You may want to look into maybe baseball, football, track and field, hockey, just different type of sports. Like if you quick with your feet, you can look into being a sprinter or being a long jumper. If you quick with your hands, you probably can look into being like a featherweight boxer at like 5'5", 5'6", or whatever. If you are 6 foot tall, if you are like 6'2", even then basketball may not be for you if you don't have the skills for that particular height that you're at, because it's like 6'2", 6'3", you still have to be good. You still have to be a good dribbler and pass the ball and things like that. Because some people are built more like centers. They can be short. They can be like short 6'2" centers. So you might want to play football. You might want to be a tight end. So you always want to put yourself in the right position, in the right sport where you can be successful and everything complements you. Because like a lot of tall guys, they're going to lean more toward basketball and things like that. So don't blame the failure on semen retention if you're not putting yourself in the right position, because semen retention is a boost, but you also got to remember your talents and your skills and what's best for you. So I hope I got my point across. Hit me up in the comment section, like and subscribe. I will be back with you guys with the next video. Peace.